guys, you're welcome to the YouTube channel. My name is Whitney Highway. I make easy sewing and drafting tutorial videos using either pattern drafting or freehand method. In summary, I make sewing and drafting as simple as it can get to eradicate any form of difficulties or complexness. And if easy sewing is something you like as well, do well to hit the subscribe button. So in this video I'll be showing you how to sew your corset pieces together to achieve a very neat work. To achieve a very neat corset. If you want to know how I drafted and cut out these corset pieces with freehand, I will drop a link in the description box for that. So let's dive right in. So the first thing first is I'll be joining this side of the darts together. I'll be joining this side and as well still join it on the other side. So it's more of like I'll be joining the lining separately and the fabric separately on both darts side. So I'll join it like this lining, I'll join it like this, so on both sides. Then the fabric as well, I'll do the same thing, join the darts together. That's close up the darts, just close up the darts opening. So I'll join it like so, and I'll still do the same thing for this other side of the fabric as well, close up the darts. So that's the first step, closing up the darts separately, close up the darts of the fabric separately and that of the lining separately. So you can see I have done that and I've ironed as well. As I always advise, after every sewing, make sure you iron. After every sewing, make sure you iron. So I've done that for this as well, for the fabric as well. So the next thing is I used the fabric to create a boba bias. So you can buy any boba bias of your choice, any color of your choice to use for this next step. So for me, I'm using the fabric and I used iron to create it. So make sure you measure out your boning to be able to know how many inches you'll be leaving and you'll be needing for your boba bias if you're making use of the fabric. So this is how we place it. So I'll make sure excess comes out from the top. I'll do the same thing for the center as well, and same thing for the other side as well. So you could make use of any boba bias of your choice. You could buy from the market. I think a yard is 16 naira or so. So 2 yards or 1.5 yard is enough for you. So any color of your choice. But for me, I'm making use of the fabric as my boba bias. So I'm done sewing it. So I'm gonna trim off this excess. I'm gonna trim it off now. Likewise, the one at the down too. So I left a space at the down. I didn't get to close up the one at the bottom, but I closed up the one at the top so that my boning can go through in from the down. So I'm just going to shaping it because I use the freehand method, so I have to shaping it. That's just the issues with you using the freehand to draft out your corset. You always have to shaping it and all of that. So I've done that. So the next step after this is the cup. So I have to now cover up the cup. So for this cup, the first thing first is I need to place that on the fabric. That's the fabric for the bra cup. I need to place that. So in placing that, remember I notched the center place with just a little hole. So what I will do now is just make sure you're sure of this little. Hope you're seeing it. So I'm going to take a ruler or whatever it is, any straight object. So I'm going to use it to come like this. It's more of like I'm forming a triangle to that point, to that dot you cut out, to that place you marked out as the center part. So I'm going to do it like so. Just watch the way I'm doing it, like so. You don't need to follow any measurements, just mark out this kind of shape. Then if this place is too pointy, you can just curve a little. You can just curve a little if it's too pointy. Let me just show you. If it's too pointy after sewing it, so like that's just it. You just curve a little. So for the bra cup, I have to put a dart, contour the bra cup so it to give it more nice shape. So in contouring it, I have to place it like this to the center. That's find the center part and then sew it. That's at the top. So you can see I am done creating the darts for both the bra cup and both the fabric. So let me show you guys. You can see the way I did it, so it will be pointy. So this is it, guys. You can see it's already giving a bra cup shape. So this is it, guys. So for the bra cup, you can see it's looking more beautiful. You can see the way I created the dart. Just sew a little space, you get. So this is it, like so. So let me just show you the difference. You can see I've not created that on this one. I've created that on this one. So you can see the difference. So creating that is going to look more beautiful and more fitted on your, it's going to make the bra cup look more fitted on your boobs, on your breast. So that's just the benefit of creating sewing a dart or on the bra cup or contouring your bra cup. So that's just the benefit. So I'm going to do the same for other the other bra cup and fabrics and lining as well. So this is it. Yes, I've sewn the darts on the lining as well, as you can see. So this is it, guys. So the next thing is I'm going to sew this fabric on the bra cup. I'm going to use pin, your office pin, to pin it round to secure it tightly to the bra cup, then sew it. So that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to sew it like this, follow the shape of the bra cup in sewing it. Yes, but I'm going to use pin to hold it tight so the fabric does not slide while I get to sew it, so it will stay tight on the bra cup. So this is it, guys. I'm done sewing it. As you can see, I'm done sewing it. So the next thing I have to do is I'm going to trim off this SS. So I'm going to trim it off now. I'm going to trim off the excess fabrics off. So guys, so I'm going to sew it on the space we created for bra cup on this corset on the fabric. So I'm going to notch the center so I would know the center, and then I'll sew it on that line that I created. So I'll do the same thing for the other side. As you've seen, I've already done the same thing on the other side. So I'm going to sew it like so, attach it like so, and sew it round. So I'm going to attach that center and notch on the bra cup, attach it to the dart line. Yes, make sure it's seated correctly on it. So I'm going to sew it like so, like this. So guys, I forgot to show you guys, I had to cut the excess off. This is about 2 inches. I had to cut it off at the center part. Yes, so I cut it off. You know, I told you during my drafting videos that you're going to cut off that excess, but it's just for you to be on the safer side, so you have enough fabric to sew it. So I am going to cut it off, sorry, and for this sides I'm going to cut it off as well. So here's me cutting it out. I'm going to make it slant a little. So this is it. You can see the bra cup, the corset is already coming out well and nice. So it's very easy steps. So this is it, guys. This is it. So the next thing is the lining for the bra cup. So I'm just going to place the lining on the bra cup like so. Then from the place that I started sewing, I'm going to start marking out 1 inch from there. That's from the place that I sewed the bra cup to the fabric. I'm going to mark out 1 inch. This is just to create excess. Your lining has to be in excess, you get, so it does not start dragging and dragging and dragging. Too pleasant. So it has to be in excess. So this is what I'll do. I'll just do it all round, 1 inch all round. That is on that U line. So just watch the way I am doing it. So 1 inch from the line that I sewed, 1 inch from that line. Then at the top, I'm going to mark 1/2 inch from the bra cup, from the beginning of the bra cup. I don't know if you understand. I'm going to mark out 1/2 inch. If you do not understand, just drop a comment. I would gladly explain better. So I'm going to connect the lines now. So this is it, guys. So the next thing is I'm going to take the other piece of the lining and put together. So make sure I press both inward, yes, like so. Then I'm going to trim. I'm going to trim of the excess. I like playing with words. So I'm going to trim off the excess. So this is me trimming off the excess lining. So this is it. This is it, guys. So yeah. So let me just show you why we have to. So okay, before then, you place the lining on it. We cut off excess from this fabric, so we have to cut out the excess too on the lining as well. So we'll do that, placing it on the fabric, so we'll cut exactly what we cut out from the fabric on the lining as well. So this is it, guys. I'm so loving this corset right now. Like, it's giving the look it's supposed to give. So yeah, so you can see the bra cup. Okay, let me turn it over for you to see. So I'm going to put the lining. So you see it went inside, you get it covered it up. So that's the reason why for the extra 1 inches allowance and 1/2 inch. So the next thing I'm going to sew this lining, this bra cup, the lining for the bra cup. I'm going to sew it on this other what am I saying, on the corset lining as well. You get, so I'm going to sew it like this and make sure everything goes in. So this is it, guys. This is it. So you can see, this is it. So the darts are facing the darts are on the dart side. So that's just it, the back on the back. So that's just it. So the next thing is I'm going to sew this lining on it. So it's going to be front to front. So I'm going to sew this top part together. Then once I'm done, I'll show you guys. So for that, let's first of all focus on the back. We have not talked about the back since. So we are going to join all the sides together, but before then we are going to trim off the excess. we're going to trim off the excess. So in trimming off the excess, you take the front bodies, place it on the back, that's the front part of the corset, place it on the back part of the corset and cut. Take note of the 1 inch for the loop. You know you're not putting zipper allowance, so you take note of the 1 inch as well. So I later deducted 1 inch from this back piece as well for the loops, the loops. So guys, this is it. I've trimmed it. So yeah, so I'm just going to you can either sew your dart line separately before joining this back piece. So for the front, which is my main focus actually, so I'm going to use what's it called, Amy gum at the top to drag in the lining so it looks way more neater, and when the person wears it, it does not look like as if the lining is coming out from the corset. I don't know if you get, but I know you get. So I'll show you guys when I'm about to iron. Then before then, I have to put the boning before using the Amy gum. So I'm going to put my boning now. So I used the non-sewable boning. Yeah, that's what I used for this corset. So I'm going to place it in. Remember, you're going to sew the bottom. So when you're putting your boning, especially the non-sewable boning, make sure you cut half an inch. So there's is cut half an inch at the down after placing the boning, so that there's enough space for you to sew, because you can't sew on the boning, so you have to create space for you to sew down there. You understand? So this is it, guys. So I'm going to use the Amy gum for the top parts now. So this is me about to iron. So this is the Amy gum. It's 600 naira for the rolls. Sorry, 300 naira. The bigger one is 600 naira. So it's affordable, something you can get. So I'm going to place it like this. I got the smaller one, so I'm going to place it like so. Then I'll take the lining and I'll drag it down like this. I'll make sure a little part of the fabric is showing at the back. Yes, like so. So this is what I'll do. So this is how I'll do it. You see? So that's just it. You make sure a little piece of the fabric is showing, a little part of the fabric is showing at the back like this. Then you iron. So I'll show you guys once I've done that. So guys, this is it. I've ironed. So you can see the back cup, the lining is properly tucked in. You can see the little piece of the fabric showing at the back. So you can see it's very neat. It's looking neat already, very neat. So yeah, that's it. So I'm going to close up this down part as well. So in closing up this down part, I'm going to okay, let me push this in and create the space. So I'm going to turn like so, and then I'm going to join this down part together like so. So I'm going to join like so. So once I'm done, I'll show you guys. So this is it, guys. I have joined the back parts together. You can see it's looking all neat. I've joined the down part. So you iron. Always remember to iron after every sewing, after every seam. Always iron. Yes, that also helps in making the work neat. So back to the back. Okay, back to the back piece. You know it's looping. I have to loop it. Sorry. So I cut out from those excess that I cut out from the back piece. I had to cut them into 2.5 inches length, and then sew. So I left 3 inches in between here. So making it 6 this I'm gonna, you will see it. I don't know how best to explain, but you see it, you understand. So the spacing between each loops is 3 inches. So I'm going to turn this I don't even know what to call it, but just watch what I'm doing. Just watch. So you see that fabric that I cut out, it didn't go to waste. I also utilized it. So that's it. So this is it. So in sewing the loop, I'm going to place it inward like this, fold it and place it inward like so, and then I'm going to sew on it. So you can either double stitch on it before turning, that is on the loop before turning, on the loop piece before turning, to make it more secured. So this is it, guys. So I also sewed the down part too, closed up the down part too. So this is it. So I'm going to do the same for the other fabric as well. And then your darts, you can either sew in your darts before closing up the down parts, or after. If you are doing it after you have closed up the down part, that's not bad as well. So this is it, guys. This is the front piece. So I love how neat it looks. So you can see I sewed that other part. So this other part, I'm going to knit them, use weaving to weave them to make it look neater. Then for this back part, I've done both side and also sewed my darts line as well. So I cut out 16 inches for the rope. 16 inches and about 2 inches wide. So I'm going to loop it for you to see and know how. Sorry, I'm going to how do they call it? I don't know why I'm forgetting the terms for these things. I don't know why. So I'm just gonna pass the thread, the rope, through it like so. So let me place the camera well so you can see it. Okay, so I'm going to pass it. So this is how you pass the rope through this loops. Man, I think there should be a dictionary for tailoring terms. Yes, because the words, they are much. So this is me passing the rope straight. This is how I do my looping. So this is it. So the next thing is I'm going to shaping fittings put my fittings for the corset. So you can either put your fittings sew 2 inches, then on the top, that's the back up side, you could go use 2.5 inches or 3 inches for or you can just use your measurements to take your fittings on your corset. So this is it, guys. I am done. Yes, so that's it. So this is an extra video, so for this side you need to weave them, then for this loop side you need to double stitch on them. You need to run a double stitching on them to secure the loops tightly, so when you are dragging, you are trying to snatch your waist, the loops won't end up cutting off, you get. So I created a modesty panel for the back. So this is how I did it, although this is not part of the video, but I just had to show you guys. If you're yet to hit the subscribe button after watching to this extent, what are you waiting for? Hit the subscribe button. So this is the outcome of the sewing. You can see how beautiful the corset is looking, how it's giving the amazing look it's ought to give. Yeah.